For those of you who are interested in creating a new life chapter, to just simply allowing yourself the space and the mindset to start over, to begin, you're in the right place. Welcome to Rollerset to Mindset, and today we are going to discuss the ways in which you can create a new life chapter with 7 concepts. But before we dive in, I have a pop question for you. And my pop question is this: what is keeping you back? What is holding you up from starting a new life chapter? After giving it much thought, I found that a lot of us end up stuck because of 7 key things when it comes to being clear about how to create a new life chapter. And the first thing I want to caution you about, the crucial step that you should not avoid, is coming up with and understanding your why. It is important that you understand the deeper reasons for seeking the change, for seeking a new life chapter. You have to ask yourself, why do I want to create a new life chapter, and why is it important to me? In other words, what's driving the transformation for you? And if you just take the time to come up with 3 reasons why you desire that change, you'd be surprised the clarity that comes with that. It creates, when you really dig down into the heart of the matter, you come up with 3 ideas that really set the stage for you. And the idea is to not overwhelm yourself with the 3, but to focus in on just one of those 3 and then drive deep with that one. And how I want to suggest you begin that is, first of all, think about your core values. Identify values that really guide your decisions in the directions that you should go. In other words, what matters to your life? What matters to your life right now? And not only that, what will help you in uncovering your core values is when you also consider the qualities of the people that are in your life that you admire. So I would suggest that you familiarize yourself with maybe 5 core values. It could be love, it could be freedom, it could be honesty or courage, creativity. Whatever 5 you come up with, I want you to choose 2 of those core values that feels most aligned with the new chapter that you want to create in your life. And then I want you to, again, go deep on those 2. And when you go deep on those 2, you will begin to see how those 2 core values have been pretty much guiding your decisions throughout your life. But not only that, you've also got to consider number 3, releasing limiting beliefs. I want you to take a minute and just identify and kind of think about the thoughts, the mindset, if you will, that keeps you feeling stuck. You know what I mean? Those negative thoughts that pop up in your head when you venture to do something, or you have a thought of what you could be, what you could do, what you could have, and that voice says to you, oh, you can't do this. Oh, you're not allowed to do this. I want you to not only recognize those voices, those thoughts, but I want you to flip it and create a positive response where that negative response is creeping in. In other words, when a thought comes to mind of what you can't do, I want you to tell yourself what you can do. When a thought comes to mind of what you don't deserve, simply say to it, I deserve. And then the next thing I want you to do is try and determine where those limiting beliefs come from. Maybe in the past you've attempted to do something and it didn't go through. And maybe you got ridiculed. Maybe you got teased. Maybe you were embarrassed after putting it out there that it did not happen. So it stifled your desire, your courage to move forward in a thing. So identify 3 limiting beliefs that you've been holding. And then I want you to flip those limiting beliefs with a positive affirmation, or even what I sometimes do is I give myself a positive visualization. And the key is when you're visualizing a thing or when you're affirming a thing, it's important that you put your emotions into it, because when you merge your imagination of what you want and you speak it into the atmosphere, when you involve emotions in it, it becomes real. And what happens is your brain does not know the difference between what you're imagining and what is real. You'll be surprised to see what happens when you take that approach. The 4th thing I want to encourage you to do is, and this is really good, I want you to envision your future self, because you can't believe it if you can't see it. What I'm suggesting is that you see it in your mind's eye before you actually see it in the physical. And if you have a target, listen, your brain is going to close the gap and it's going to reach for that target. And let me tell you, you will reach it. Because when you can see a thing, everything you do after that is going to move you in the direction of that thing. Now, the 5th thing I want you to consider when you are looking for clarity, looking to create clarity in creating your new life chapter, is I want you to clarify your priorities. Because if we're not careful, what's going to happen is we become overwhelmed because there's so much we want to do. Once you set out to do things, all of these ideas flood your brain and you get so overwhelmed that you do nothing. And we don't want that. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to identify what needs your focus right now. What is it that needs your focus right now? Where do you feel you want to grow or you want to shift? And instead of going wide with that thing, I want you to go deep with that thing. I want you to give deep thought to that one thing that you feel needs your priority. And when you do that, you take yourself out of overwhelm. And you're more clear, you're at ease. It feels like you have a game plan, that you are on point, that you are moving forward. Your distractions are down, your creativity and your imagination is up. And the 6th thing I want you to consider as well is commit to inspired action. Did you hear me? I said commit to inspired action. Focus on small, powerful steps, small, powerful wins. And what you can do is begin to stack those wins. So I want to ask you, what small steps can you take today to move forward? And not just steps that you can take to move forward, but how can you stay consistent? Because remember, small, consistent acts is what creates for you. Not to start and to stop, to start and to stop, but to stay consistent and to stay inspired. Because when you take one step at a time, As I said earlier, you build on those steps. So my question to you is this: what is one step you can take today to create that new life chapter? And after you've done all 6, the 7th thing I want you to do, you have to do it, because so many times this is the one thing that we leave out. That thing is, you've got to celebrate. You got to celebrate yourself. And because when you celebrate yourself, it gives you that excitement to keep going. It kind of anchors your clarity. You know, when you're happy and you have bliss and you're knocking out your goals, it allows you to anchor yourself in what you said you want, and it also allows you to keep going. And the things you have to ask yourself is this: how have I grown during this challenge, doing these promptings? And not only that, what clarity have you gained from doing the 6th and now the 7th thing, the 7th step? And, you know, there's power in putting pen to paper. So I also want you to write out a clarity statement, summing up all the breakthroughs you have over these 7 steps. And I guarantee you this: when you make a decision to step boldly into creating a new life chapter or creating a new goal for yourself, it just doesn't stop there. What it does, it reminds you of what you deserve. It reminds you of what you can accomplish. And it positions you to look at that mountain as not being overpowering. And when you find yourself at the top of that mountain for having achieved clarity in your next life chapter or your next goal, understand this: that the top of one mountain is the bottom of a more transformative mountain. So I want to encourage you to just keep going. And if you need help in that, in the keep going, I want to invite you to be a part of my free membership. Did you hear me? I said free membership on my school community. I will leave it in the show notes below. And it will act as a tool, a catalyst to help you keep going, where you get encouraged and you get to be in the space of other women who are leveling up. Share this episode out. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. I'll talk with you soon. Bye.